Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday, LinkedIn friends, Valley First Nation. Welcome to another episode of Valley First AI Daily, your collaborative intelligence report. August 26th, 2026. Almost done with August, Nico. How you doing, man?
Feeling pretty good. A couple days away, and then it's that it's that rush to inbound, man. 2.5 weeks till inbound. So
By inbound,
unbound,
you mean
unbound,
unbound, of
unbound.
course.
I'm
That rush
trying.
to unbound.
I'm trying.
It's
Right.
hard. It's pretty much impossible not to.
It's tough. It'll sink in like during, and then it will take hold after. But yeah, um,
Yeah.
I'll definitely try. Do my best and just keep like repeating it on the plane while on the way there.
Right. I think it's so uh perfect that you said it'll sink in during. We had a show of the road to Unbound earlier today. That we'll be sharing soon. The only show that I do that's not live. Uh, Will DePerry was on from HubSpot Hacks and Simple Strat, and it's interesting. I opened with like, what does Unbound mean to you? Right, like, and my intent was like the word, right? Like he took
Mhm.
it to the event, and then we went around, and him, Casey, George, Rob, all had different answers. Like one was about the event, one was about like you know human stuff, like it was all over the place,
Mhm.
and the way I brought it all together, which ties into a bit of what we want to talk about today. It's like, uh, it's like everybody's going to be coming there in a moment of like, what's next? Like, what's happening next? What's happening next year? What's happening in October? Like,
Yeah.
we don't know. Right. So everybody's trying to figure things out right now.
Mhm.
And I think Unbound's goal and the team's goal is like, you have permission to come. You're going to be there, and everybody else is going to be in the same boat. And by the end of it, you likely that something will have changed, for you, for your identity, for your plans for the rest of the year, for something. But like leave the door open for that and give yourself permission to show up. Let something hit you in the face or in the heart or wherever it needs to hit you and be like, oh, okay. Yeah, I can do that thing. I don't have to be this sales rep and just do this over and over each day. I can be this sales rep that creates content, that creates cool shit with AI, that like
Mhm.
solves problems real time for folks on calls to sell in a way that we've never been able to sell before. It's just one example, right?
Yeah.
Um, and like giving yourself permission is just so much of what I see at the heart of AI learning issues uh, right now. And like we were talking about the other day, and this is belief number two, value first, uh, like empowerment over learned helplessness. And I come from a space, and now you're experiencing some of that, where like you can be in charge of a thing inside of a business, but then have no authority over getting that thing done or like handling that, right?
Mhm.
And the need that came up uh, was this concept that I've been thinking about for a long time of like almost any HubSpot build that is not focused on marketing and sales and demand gen. You start to get to quote to cash and post sales. There's always a request for, can I PDF that? Always.
Yep.
And like almost every other system, the answer is yes,
Yeah.
right? But HubSpot, digital domain, SaaS, like, stop. You don't want a PDF shit. Like, come on. But customers need it, right? And I've been
Yep.
thinking about it for a while. We were about to go on the show. During that show, I built the app. Like, I didn't build it though. I gave it a
Right.
prompt. I said, go look at these builds that we've been doing. Ryan Ginsberg's done some cool stuff. I know we've made this functionality for customers all over the place.
Mhm.
Hey, agents designed for building apps in HubSpot. Let's go make a PDF this app, right? And they did it like in the space of the show, right? But it
Right.
doesn't solve the problem of making sure the humans know that they're allowed to do that, right? Or that leaders think that's a good idea, or like these the way that we can solve problems real time is just such an unnatural flow of work,
Mhm.
right? I'm working towards, with the Hubsest acquisition and just creating the space for people to catch wind of this. Like, know that this power can be in your hands if you want it. But most of us need a little help. Like, no, keep going. Yep, 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 yep. There's the pill. Take it. Boom, done. My job's done here.
Yep. That's yeah, there's the activation, we're good.
Right. Um, and it's like I'm also finding more and more it's like not everybody like hits like that. It's still like permission after permission after permission. And like, oh, okay. I can really take it all the way. Oh, okay. I can go to that next level. Um, and I'm curious if you have a take of like we are talking yesterday with Clement and Casey about like the last mile and how really it just moves. Like it moves with your capability, right? It's like,
Right.
oh, that just got easier. Oh, I delegated that to agents. That means I can do this next thing.
Mhm.
And then the mile moves, right? Like if somebody asked you how to measure that, how to measure the value of that, what would you say to them?
I mean, obviously beyond thank you. It would I think the first thing would be like, show me how you did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least for me. Like if somebody were able to show me like an amazing stat, right? Like there's plenty of I'm definitely gonna go over it next week in terms of showing people like how you can very like shouldn't say very easily, but pretty easily start like begin to determine and or finitely determine customer lifetime value. It's like a hidden stat nobody ever looks at, nobody can find. People don't seem to understand how to find it, right? And to your point, you have this tool that works at a lightning pace that can read all that information for you, can give you that information and unlock greater capabilities for you from there. But it's just that tiny thing of like, you know, just that one instruction on like, hey, here's how you do that, right? Here's the first step on how you do that. Like actually, you know, produce real value, right, in a short amount of time. And yeah, if you do the same thing for me, I want to know. Like, I guess to know.
Yeah. It's so funny listening to Casey talk about some of this stuff. Somebody asked her how she does all the clips, and I was just like, I don't know. I just asked Claude.
Yeah,
And I'm like, how dare you? There's like 4 agents involved. Like there's lots of stuff going on. But that's how we want it to be. Like, right?
right,
Like why we're if the output, if the result is value, and it's value that we've been thinking about for a long time, especially when it comes to value first, my stance has always been like, well, clips can't happen if the long form doesn't happen. Just never
right.
get to the clips.
Yeah,
Well, we're getting to the clips now. And man, the momentum is building and it's fun to see. So yeah, excited to head toward Unbound too. But on Monday's show, we talked about the robot Olympics.
mhm.
Um, so which one should we look at here? I just asked for some links from the team that was prepping the show because they're like, "Yeah, that should be a segment." Like, well,
Yeah.
give me the links then, man. Um, let me see if I can
They're working on it.
open this up. Probably like,
And the crazy part is I remember when you first started, you built your system for handling uh, multiple platforms and being able to take the content from one aspect. And it was that simple. It started out that simple as Chris just basically complaining that there wasn't anything to do it, and then just being like, do you think Claude can do it? And it's like, yeah, dude, just ask him, see what happens. Like, yep, okay. Like a week later, he's like, yeah, so I got this awesome system, and it just puts all the preview stuff for me together and zips everything up to HubSpot for me, and starts moving shit around. And it's like now Claude Cowork is out. I mean, now you're already like neck deep in the CLI, but um, for anybody else, that's what's so crazy, right? Is if you guys see us working on any of this stuff, and it's like, well, you're in that crazy dark app with the weird text, and I don't understand what that is or how to use that. Okay, cool. You can still use Claude Desktop and use Cowork. It's the exact same thing. And even if you don't use Claude Code, which you could if you want to, um, that's my thing. Is like I want to get as many people as I can on Git, like just the most basic way, right? Like I'm talking like marketers, I'm talking writers, content writers, planners, developers, obviously, but I mean like um, planning and development for new product launches and new product lines that you're going to put out, any of that kind of stuff. If you just have a Git account, you almost don't even really need to go further than that. Um, every step what's crazy is with Git, like every one step you take, it's just like, oh wow, now I can do this. Like, because it's like, okay, well, what's the one step further from a Git account? Uh, someone who's in the group creates the organization and invites everybody else to the organization, and then you all work at an org level. Yep. So it's a free service, by the way. I just want to mention that. It's basically like Google Docs, but for or Google Drive, but it's very specifically meant for code. So I'm going to bastardize the use case of it and say that you can use it for any file types of for anything, right? So you can store PowerPoints on there. It doesn't matter what it is. You can store any type of content on there. That being the case, now Claude for Slack and Claude Code become crazy powerful to you because you're able to take content and translate it directly from conversation into either content that's now uploaded to the organization that everybody else can now have access to and go check out. And you have the ability to check to see if that's actually maybe something we've already run, or maybe somebody's already working on that idea, or maybe somebody's updated something, or whatever the case may be. As people are working on stuff and you're all connected to whatever your repos are within the organization, it makes it that much easier for anyone to be able to go across. The whole idea of like, hey, I wonder if so and so is done with this yet, or I wonder if so and so, has this. On one end, again, like it can get kind of, complicated pretty quickly, but not, you could actually ask for it very simply. So you could even open Claude Code and just be like, hey, um, check every 5 minutes to see if Chris finishes this thing. And when he finishes, this is how crazy it is. When he's finished, shoot me an email to let me know and give me a link in the email so that I
yeah,
can go check it out.
dude, this happened to me for the first time yesterday. We were launching Hubzest, and literally, we talk all the time. Like we try to stay up to date. We hear about the functionality, and like I had never really like used Loop yet,
Mhm.
right? But at the beginning of the day, I'm like, yeah, we're launching big day today, guys. Uh launching launching or the announcement for Hubsest is happening today. And can you look at like what's been going on in our Slack and in the email? Um Oh, and by the way, Ryan Gunn made this post, and I was like, "Yeah, it'd be cool if you could just pay attention all day." That was it. And then it's like and then the loop just happened. And then, like, we are mid-morning show, and it's like, "By the way, this person just tried to subscribe, and they're having issues, and here's the Stripe link that you can send them. Like, do you want me to send it?" Now that that has happened, the answer will immediately be yes next time. But as we were mid-show, and I was just like, "Oh my god, is this real?" Like, I was like, "Wow." And
Yeah.
like, "What else can you do?" And then I turned that into a HubSpot app, like, connected to the systems of data, all of these things that were just, like, just so hard before, not hard now, but you still have to ask. Like, you
Mhm.
still have to ask for it. Um, and, like, so what did I do today? And this is the part where I think, like, there's value for every business. It's just hard to define that value.
Yeah.
Like, what did I do? Like, um, let me see if I can set you up. Uh, if I really enjoyed that experience
Yeah.
and I have this intelligent architecture already set up,
Mhm.
what do you think I did today
I
as it
think
related to that session?
okay. I think like you obviously must have extended it to the main brain and the rest of value first.
Basically, because I turned it into a command. I turned it into a command. I was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, man, I want to do this again today."
Oh, a command or a
Right?
skill?
I mean,
It's
I
the same to
differentiate.
us, right? Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
I differentiate between commands and skills. Like for me,
Okay.
skills is like expertise packs,
Right.
and then commands are like SOPs, basically, like
Okay.
processes.
So let me ask you, because of the fact that it's SOP, right? That's one of the things that I tell people is that, hey, anytime you've run through a process and you're at the tail end of it and you've gotten the result that you want, turn that entire process into a skill so that you can just slash command that shit next time.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
why would you, and it's not like I'm not saying anything, why do you use commands? Like what's the advantage for you? Like what do you like about that by
I mean,
comparison?
whether I call it a skill or a command,
No, I'm
or
legit asking. Like, does V like pick that up differently? Like, does your harness have you worked with it in a way where commands work in that sense, where V just knows like, oh, that's the thing we did way back when. I'm just gonna go pick that up and do that again.
well, it's like how everything's documented. So it's basically the language, and they made it up at some point, like you know. But there's like, I mean, it was
So
the phrase
you're
slash
telling me
command.
that they made up a process and they started calling them commands, and you have adapted to their nomenclature.
Oh, for sure. That's like most 80% of what's
Oh, that's
happening, and I
awesome.
think
That is
it's
awesome.
happening to humans. Like I never said the word corpus like before.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm saying it all the time now because it makes sense too. Like this is what I've always
It
meant
means
by like
what it is that
AI.
you're trying to. Yep.
Right? AI is gonna simplify for us, teach us how to talk in ways that we've never been able to each other. Like substrate is another one that like it's like, yeah, oh, no, that makes sense. Yep. So but yeah, over time, like just the phrase slash command kept coming up. And so there's a folder of commands and
Mhm.
then there's a folder of skills. And like I'm never gonna call on the skill, but all the agents are tied to some set of skills that help them do the command usually.
Got it. Got it.
Um and but the whole reason for doing it is, you know, now it's been easier to say, hey Casey, come on in, just hit the slash command. Like and then the agents, you don't have to worry about which agents are being called. It's like, I don't like it's hard to say it's sophisticated, but when you hear and see how people have their stuff set up and like referring to Claude as a singular agent,
Mhm.
right? Like it's a different level of coordination that but it's you have to chain it together like, you know, it breaks. It breaks
Yep.
super easy, right? And
Yep.
they break themselves, but also they can clean up the mess very quickly too. Um,
Mhm.
and so, yeah, we made that into a command like Hubsest, and it came up with the name Hubsest Monitor. And I said, you know, let's get this one right. And then I could see using it in a lot of other ways because I've always thought about being able to, man, it would be nice if Claude could just pay attention. Like, like, because I suck at respond to emails. I see it come in. I'm like, oh, this is exactly how I would reply to that one. Let me get to it later. Nope. Right. Um, and that's starting to happen now. And when that happened yesterday, right? Like that, the first thing that hits of a launch, like, is a problem. Like somebody was trying to give us money
Mhm.
and they couldn't. The chances that I would have known how to fix it or even like been able to get to it right away, you know, would have been low.
Yeah.
And because that because I just asked for the team to pay attention to these spaces, it got handled, right? And I didn't have to come up with some master plan. All right, guys, this is the launch. All right, V, you're going to be on XYZ. Sage, you're going to be keeping track of this. LinkedIn is over here. Like in the space of an hour, we're going to be looking for this stuff. And oh, let me build all the SOPs just in case these 10 problems happen, which is what we do, like the triage, like
Yep.
crisis, planning, all that stuff
Mhm.
that either people spend a ton of time on and pay a lot of money for agencies to help them with, or they don't do it at all. And like, you don't have to pick anymore. You don't have to pick between those two. You just have to literally tell the team, like, hey, like, can you pay attention today? I didn't say, hey, watch out for people that are trying to subscribe and let me know if it doesn't work.
Right.
I didn't say that. But guess what happened? They let me know and it got handled within the hour. And those are the kinds of experiences that we know they want. We know the buyer wants that experience, right? But did we take the time to build the systems and the processes as we're migrating, you know, subscription setups for the first time ever using platforms that we've never used before, like doing a little bit of hoping and praying because moving subscriptions around these platforms is not friendly. Um, and then it's like, how much could we have like could have added on weeks? Like, oh, let's test it. Let's get it ready. Let's make sure we're ready because it would be the worst ever if somebody signed up and then they couldn't do the thing. It's like I wouldn't even have seen this error coming,
Nope.
right? But we're all over it. And we means, the agent team and the humans involved that know that, let's get stuff out the door. We're working with AI. We have capabilities we've never had before. We can move faster than we've ever been able to before. Uh, so it's crazy, dude.
Yeah. I mean,
Let's
at this point, which I mean, you've already like got a system going, but yeah, let me know if you ever end up running any external agents or anybody that's that launches a show. You run external agents and you're worried about uh, rot, knowledge base rot, and that kind of stuff, and curation and all that kind of thing. Harry runs himself now. Like he's been running himself for the last month, I would say. Um, Curates his own knowledge base, deals with knowledge base rot, like, and the way I can tell that it's working is that the because he has a backup of being able to do a web search for official sources just in case knowledge base doesn't contain what he needs, and the amount of web searches has just gone down nearly like 5% or so, like almost every day. So I expect it to reach yeah, I expect it. I think right now it's hovering around like 12.7. So it's always going to have some amount because people are going to ask about brand new stuff. But yeah, it's pretty amazing now to like watch the agents sort of take care of themselves.
Yeah. Uh, it's
Hard.
so just ask, folks. Like that's what. If you don't know how, just drop us one line, and then we'll tell you in a different way. So, like, we'll say just ask in a different way. Uh, it reminds me of those moments where it's like somebody like asks for help, and then you just show up, and then the problem doesn't happen anymore. Right.
Swear was
All
there.
right. Top three of the day. Number three, Claude's Maker unified memory across chat and cowork. I feel we need to have like a grammar lesson. Like it says, we're going through the talking out loud review right now.
Yeah.
Like Claude's Maker, aka Anthropic, comma, unified memory across chat and cowork, making every stored memory viewable, editable, and deletable by topic. Speaking of systems that can take care of itself, it updates while a conversation is happening instead of being summarized after it ends. It is on by default for free Pro and Max users and off for team and enterprise until an administrator enables it. Sensitive categories, health, race, religion, politics, and gender identity among them stay out unless a user opts in. And government ID numbers, criminal history, and immigration status are never stored at all. Nothing is written retroactively. Turning a setting on does not reach back over past conversations. Archivist's take here. Archivist is an agent that I probably should work with more of. Viewable, editable, and deletable by topic is the right shape. Memory nobody can inspect isn't trustworthy. Agreed. It's just authoritative looking. But editable and deletable aren't the same discipline as archived. If editing a topic just overwrites it, they've built an index with no record of what used to be true, which is exactly the gap that lets stale memory look current. I've said it a few times. I've been trying to figure out the memory game. You know,
Everybody is, yeah.
and like, tell me this in terms of like, this is for chat and cowork, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't touch Cloud Code because we build our own, systems memory and stuff like that. But all
Yeah.
of this points to like when you build instructions to try and support the lack of this ongoing memory for whatever reason, where it's like you're checking in a little more often, you're saving reports here and there, all the things that you do to try and avoid the compact or make it through the compact. Like, come on, context. Like, let's just keep going here. But I don't want to stop right now. But I know it's getting right, all these things. And then
But
they
here's
drop
the
this.
question I gotta ask. When you compact, do you include a message or do you just like are you
Yeah, no. I
okay.
do the I like when you showed me the compact prep for the first time, I implemented it immediately.
Yeah.
Right. Um,
But still, yeah.
and
For
yeah,
most users, you lose the context for sure.
right. and what's interesting is like the underlying LLM. So if we say chat and cowork and Cloud Code are all like harnesses, right?
Yep.
They this is those changes in the behavior where it's like if the LLM is, or if the model, I should say, is built to support this activity, and then we're over here in Cloud Code not auto updating like memory, maybe that's why we're experiencing some frustrations around every model below Fable right now.
I mean, it could be. I don't know. I think I think this is what, what you're speaking to, which is that like it's a it's their attempt at a contextual map, right? So like we have, like if you're using Claude Code, uh, more than likely you've built, a bit more to your harness than just the regular stuff. And along with that should be a context map. And that is exactly what this is, which essentially takes all of the like notes and memories and all that kind of stuff that you put together and gives it a general thematic context so that when it can tell like when you are working together and you start to dip into certain themes or what have you, start dipping into development, then it's like, oh, okay, well, we'll start like thinking about development context and we'll start taking this into account. There might be things over here that will relate to this conversation, as opposed to just waiting on like keyword based memory, which is essentially what was happening before. Is like, well, if you mentioned something by phrase or by word, then maybe it would go and look for it or pull it up, as opposed to like, hey, we're talking about, like, so this eliminates that issue where you're having a conversation about like HubSpot stuff and you start getting like upset because maybe the conversation starts drifting, where the model starts drifting in terms of what it's trying to do and trying to work with you on. This is meant to sort of close that gap and make sure that it's like, no, no, we're definitely still working on HubSpot stuff, so I'll stick to anything related to
Yeah, that's oh man. Yeah,
that.
we're
We're getting
gonna
there, right?
keep moving. But that's like if you like if we compact and you bring anything with you, please let it be what this session was talking about. Like,
Yeah.
oh man. Um, Number two, AI matched expert pathologists at predicting patient outcomes from immune cells in breast tumors.
Yep.
Two analysis covered more than 1,300 triple negative cases pooled from 7 trials and more than 4,300 early HER2 positive samples. The two sets of scores were not identical, both pointed the same way, more of them meaning better outcomes. It also read how they were arranged in space and flagged hotspots, which a human count does not produce. True today, these were stored samples read after the fact, which is evidence the scoring is reliable, not a tool cleared for a clinic. Yeah, I'll take there. Uh, yeah,
I
more
mean,
more medical stuff
odd to me that it's not. It'll be cleared for clinical use like real soon, right? Like
for
this
sure.
kind of this kind of breakthrough, like it's. I mean, we're already, so it kind of doesn't surprise me because of the fact that we have so much data around breast cancer, and it's just one of the most. I mean, it's again, it's the most common, I think, for females. So um, definitely something that is worth trying to eliminate like at the root or at the stem,
Yeah,
um, and being able to increase detection is obviously the greater thing that you can do. It's kind of strange to me, and it started this. It's just a theory, um, but it started when Midjourney was getting good enough, and then it kind of got, I don't know, you don't want to call it backed up, but sort of backed up by some like very early AI devices, which is that when I started using Midjourney initially and like just doing random stuff, I would do like people's eyes, where you could just like ask it to do like a very macro like image of somebody's eye. And when you did it, you could see like all, it would render all of the filaments, like all of the different, colors and I don't, biology escapes me on this one for right now, but all of the, rods, cones, whatever it is, that create the color in your eye, in your iris. And when I looked at it, like the first thing that popped in my head was like, man, it kind of looks like a map. It looks like a mini visual map, like a genetic map of who you are per se, right? And then some initial devices started coming out, medical devices that were able to predict whether or not you were going to have diabetes, I think, just based on a retinal scan. And it's like, all right, well, there's got to be something going on there. Like, it seems a bit strange that you were even able to get close to something like that, right? So, if we actually get to, and I'm not saying this is legitimate. Again, this is a terrible theory. But if we do get to a point, at least I would think that we would get to a point where you could just like do a retinal scan and just a very simple, blood test, and between the two things, like that's how crazy it's going to be. That the system is going to be so powerful that between those two things, it'll just start to open up this map of like, yep, definitely. Here's what you're going to have over the course of your life. So here's where you're going to have to start getting ready for stuff. Here's when you need your medical treatment. Here's how much your treatment's going to cost. So here's how much you can expect to spend over the course of your life based on what your conditions are going to be. Like
Yep.
that's going to be a thing real soon.
And if you're curious about how that's going to go, we'll maybe we should share a list of 10 sci-fi movies where that has happened.
Yeah. I mean, it has been written.
Oh man, to the surprise of no one. Okay. Number one, Gemini 3.5 Transcribe. A speech to text model went into public preview in its maker's API and AI Studio. Artificial analysis measured its word error rate, the share of words it gets wrong, at 2.6% on pre recorded audio and 4.0% on live streaming. Its maker reports, can we just call them like Google?
Yeah. Right.
Its maker reports a final transcript 70% faster than the model it replaces. The bound speaker attribution is supported for up to 3 voices, and anything past that is flagged experimental. I look forward to digging into this. I've noticed better experiences with Google Meet transcripts than Crisp, and some other experiences. So not surprising that, like, again, access to all the workspace stuff and Google Meet.
Yeah.
Right. It's like at some point they just get good at all the stuff.
Mhm.
They literally have all of the content streaming through that you could
All the
possibly have.
channels. Yeah.
Right. Like, so they've got all the data, they've got all the behavior. And I maybe we can dig into that more tomorrow. I need to run. Catch us tomorrow. We're going to be switching our times to noon central going forward, or noon or noon 15, whenever we get to. So until tomorrow, everybody have a great rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you next time.